In this video, I'm going to be going over some terms that you're going to want to know if you're taking your current PMP exam. My name is Andrew Ramdial, and I am the author of this book, the PMP Exam Prep Simplified, Amazon's bestseller for the PMP exam. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So, first thing is that I'm going to be going over about 5 terms with you. Now, these terms, my students have told me, are showing up either as a drag and drop on your exam, and sometimes you may get them as a multiple choice question. So make sure you know them before walking into the exam room. I think they're pretty easy to understand. If you do get them in a drag and drop, you're probably going to ace it because it's that easy. But they're pretty interesting terms. I'm going to give you the term, and I'm going to give you guys a link in the description below and on the slide here that I'm about to use that actually say where I got this information from. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that I'm pretty guilty of. You know, I remember in high school, one of the subjects I hate is English. Did you guys ever know that? Did you guys ever realize? I hate English with a passion. So when I get English homework, they would give me assignments to write stuff or complete stuff, and then I would wait till the last possible moment to do it, but because I hated doing it. And because I waited till the last possible moment, if I screw something up, I didn't have time to correct it. You see, what I'm defining for you is something that we call student syndrome. So student syndrome is really known as planned procrastination. A student will only start to apply themselves at the last possible moment. What this does is that it removes any safety margin and puts them under more stress and pressure. Now, how the hell does this apply to project management? You're like, Andrew, I know I did this in high school too or college. What does that have to do with project management? Well, here's the deal. Let's say you assign a feature or an activity to get done on Monday. You assigned it to get done on Friday, but you assigned it on Monday. Instead of the team working on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, they wait till the last possible moment, Thursday afternoon, to get it done. This is going to eliminate any kind of slack time or free time they would have if when doing the feature something goes wrong. Basically eliminates the safety margin of time. So this is not something good. This is something you're going to want to push your team not to be doing. And of course, we know it's not good to do it in high school or in college. So let's tell our children, hey, don't be like us. Don't have student syndrome. The next term I have is something that we're pretty much all guilty of. And I've seen this 1,000 times. Why? Because I've done it myself and I've seen it on all the teams that I've ever worked with. It's called Parkinsons Law. Basically, work expands so as to fill time available for its completion. Can be used in this applies to all forms of work. So what do I mean by this? Let's say you're working for me and your name is Bob. I says, hey Bob, I want you to do this task for me. You have 8 hours to get it done. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I want it done by 5. Bob spends all day, or you're spent all day doing the task. You come back to me and he says, hey Andrew, it's done, 5 o'clock. Now, if I would have given Bob 2 hours or given you 2 hours, you'd have probably got it done in 2 hours. You see, the point here is that when I give you work and I give you time to do it, you will magically or somehow figure out how to get this much work done in the allocated time. Whether that same work is going to get done in 2 hours or 8 hours. So work is expanding to fill the time. This is just the way humans work. You can read more about it on the Wikipedia link that I have here. But remember, it's something that is common. It's true. I know it happens to me a lot. Sometimes I'm doing work. I'm making a presentation. I'm making a Gantt chart. I'm doing a schedule. And sometimes I can get that same thing done in 2 hours. Sometimes I get it done in 8 hours. Just something I'm guilty of too. Self-protection. Now, this is pretty much self-explanatory. People protecting themselves, doing things that will not harm them now or in the future. So protecting themselves in a task or a conflict. Now, this does come from conflict management. There's a link here or in the description that you can see. Basically, saying or doing things that cannot hurt them now or in the future is what this is going to be. So let's say somebody is doing a task. They don't want to complete the task too early. If not, people are going to give them more work to do, and then they can't complete it. That would hurt them. Some people get into arguments, and they don't want to say anything that can damage themselves or put them in any kind of jeopardy. This is called self-protection. It's a common thing that we do in real life. Next one is called Sandagon. Now, this is something that I think all humans are guilty of because once again, another thing that I'm guilty of. Did you guys know I'm nowhere near perfect? I'm the worst there is. So let's take a look. This basically means under promising and over delivering. That's what this is about. So the team knows that they could do this much of work. All right. Let's say you're doing an agile project and they can do 100 points worth of work. They're capable of that. That's their velocity. So they come out and they say, well, you know what? We can only do 80 points, right? Because they know they can accomplish it guaranteed. If you give them 100 points, what's going to start to happen, they may not be able to get it all done as their velocity may fluctuate a little bit. So they're under promising, but when they do deliver their work, they can deliver. They'll say, you know what, we can only do 4 features, but in the end they deliver 6 features. So what are they doing here? They are under promising. Hey, I'm going to promise you 4, but then they delivered 6 over delivering. Now this has some issues and some problems that can affect the function of a project. This basically sets the expectation of what you can do. Basically, you're not exceeding the expectations in the initial beginning. There's a great article that goes over this that I'll leave you guys a link to. But this is the definition you're going to want to know for your exam. The next one is called a dropped baton. Now, here's how this works. Imagine a relay race. A relay race, there's a baton, they're running, and one guy has to give it to the next guy. See, what this deals with is called a handover. One team finishes work and has to give it to the next team. So here's how this works. Let's say the coding team codes it, the testing team tests the codes. So let's say the coding team finishes it 1 week early. Is the testing team ready to take this code or take the baton and start testing it? No, they weren't ready. So what happens? Let's say they take it a week later. So we lose a whole week. So what this is one team finishes early and the team is not ready to accept it, or I should say the next team, leading to time being wasted. So this is called a dropped baton. Okay, so these were some articles, some terms that you're going to want to know for your exam. Now, on the description below, I do have links to all. You saw there were some URLs posted here. I do have them all below. If you want to read more about them, read about them. What I gave you is more than enough for you to pass your exam with. These terms are pretty easy to understand. I've also added a question to the simulator. If you haven't subscribed to the simulator, get the simulator. It is the best thing you can do to pass your exam. Drills the mindset into you. The video explanations, you can't go wrong. I've added the questions with these terms, so go check it out. And with that in mind, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in another video. And good luck on taking your exam.